Anime moments when you mess with the wrong person. Be it seeing a punchable face gets punched out of shape or watching karma do its thing, anime moments that show us what happens when you mess with the wrong guy are always so genuinely satisfying and memorable. Well then, let's talk about some of them in this video. The anime moments when you mess with the wrong person. Shall we begin? Number 10. Anos repeatedly kills a guy into submission. Imagine you were planning on beating the smack out of this commoner, but then he quite literally kills you with just his heartbeat. That's Zippus, and he was fighting against Anos in the practical exam arena. Anos had given him a handicap, and yet despite not even moving an inch, he kills Zippus. All he did was let him hear his heartbeat. He then brings Zippus back to life and tells him that he is delusional if he thought he died only once in his lifetime. From there on out, Anos kills Zippus again and again and again, and every time he does, he quickly brings him back to life within 3 seconds. Before long, Zippus was astonished beyond words. He surrendered in every sense of the word. Number 9. Lloyd gets angry for Anya. If you are a trashy interviewer, be careful because who knows, the parent of the little girl you are interviewing might just turn out to be a world-class spy and a ruthless assassin. During the interview, which was going to decide if Anya would be admitted to this school or not, the ugliest interviewer named Walter tries asking Anya some harsh questions, and then he finally goes too far when he asks Anya, rate Yor in comparison to her old mother. Lloyd and Yor were about to lose it. Anya was shedding tears, but then Walter hits the nail once more by criticizing Anya for crying. Lloyd just snaps and plunges in to land a blow that was going to permanently change the shape of Walter's face, but he stops the final instinct and takes it out on a mosquito instead. The forgers excuse themselves after condemning the school, but unfortunately Mr. Walter does receive an elegant punch from the headmaster himself. Number 8. Garo tries to fight Saitama. Honestly, we can fill this whole list with One Punch Man moments, but let's talk about the simple yet rawest of them all. Garo comes across Saitama while he's about to get himself a wig. Naturally, considering his reputation as the hero hunter, he thinks Saitama is just a low-rank hero trying to see if he can take credit for beating him. So he steps up and tries to permanently dislocate Saitama's arm with a swift chop. But this attack does nothing, like absolutely nothing. Saitama thinks Garo is a robber, so he uses a quick chop himself and sends Garo straight into the ground. Number 7. Poor bandits try to lay their hands on Shaltir and a solution. Solution and Cebus has hired servants who then turned out to be part of a local gang of bandits. The gang later intercepts their path right when Shaltir is also with them. Shaltir herself comes out, they think she's just a young girl, and one of them tries to grope her chest. However, that very instant, his head and hands are seen flying away. Solution also comes out of the carriage and confronts the servants who deceived them. He was obviously going to run away, considering that Shaltir was doing everything to everyone. But Solution shows him her oppai in all of their naked glory. He knows he's going to die, but the horny gets the better of him. Just once, he wants to touch them. I mean, who wouldn't? But the moment he does, he starts sinking right in. Solution absorbs all his life just like that. Number 6. Yukihira Soma challenges Aizen to a shokugeki. Aizen had been using his influence to shut down the Polar Star dormitory. Everyone was sad, it's their home, Yukihira is also there, but he's somewhat quiet for a change. And then, despite the fact that Aizen had already bought all the judges, Yukihira Soma still challenges Aizen to a shokugeki. He makes himself absolutely clear that the Polar Star dormitory is where he'll perfect his cooking, and then proceeds to destroy the 9th seat of the Elite 10 Council in addition to the taming of those patronizing judges. The balls on this man always surprises me. Alright guys, time for the big question. What is your favorite anime moment or moments where someone messes with the wrong person? Share your favorites guys, especially if it's not already mentioned in this list. Let's get a part 2 of this video out as soon as possible. Also, like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. Well then, let's get back to the list. Number 5. Jotaro gambles his mother's soul. Imagine you are facing off against the legendary gambler whose stand is capable of taking your soul the moment you lose, but then you decide to bet your mother's soul with the finest poker face imaginable. Well, that's exactly what Kojo Jotaro does against DRB. The psychological toll was insane. DRB starts sweating rivers, his throat becomes unable to let out a single word, he's exasperated and so scared shitless that the man literally ages like 20 years in the span of mere moments, and then actually passes out before even playing his turn. Number 4. Mob destroys Koyoma for beating his brother. Koyoma had attacked both Mob and his brother unprovoked. Mob is usually all sweet and nice, but the moment Koyoma made the mistake of laying his hands on his brother, Mob was furious. He was going to make Koyoma regret it and let him know. Just like that, his emotion limiter hits 100% and brings Koyoma on his knees without even moving. He proceeds to wreck Koyoma, takes him above in the sky, and then smashes him straight into the ground. Mob's rage was burning. Number 3. Rene snaps and demolishes her bullies. Here we have Rene, a young girl whose grandfather was in critical state. She was going to go meet him, but 3 bullies raided her while she was in the washroom, destroying her grandfather's memento. They even destroyed the phone which was supposed to receive important calls about her grandfather's state, and then physically restricted her from leaving the school. By the time she can go, it's already too late. Her grandfather had passed away. You can only imagine all those complicated feelings Rene must be experiencing in that moment. she had snapped. The next day, she confronts those bullies without even saying a word. She quite literally grabs and breaks the elbow of one of them, grabs the other by the head and smashes her face straight into the steel cupboards. There was blood all over the place. As for the third one, she is frightened beyond words, can't even walk, so she's desperately trying to crawl away, but Rene takes a step and kicks her face straight into the cupboard. One of them still hadn't passed out, and so Rene smashes her head with her foot once again. All of the other students run away after experiencing this sight. It was brutal but much deserved. Number 2. Luffy punches a celestial dragon. Luffy and authority are like oil and water, but considering it was a celestial dragon this time round, everyone was doing a good job of making sure Luffy doesn't step out of the line like always. However, after seeing firsthand how this ugly face was treating Cammy and how he actually shot Hachan right in front of them, Luffy loses it. He takes a step and another step. One by one he climbs the stairs, propels his arms, and then lands a punch that knocks the living daylights out of the celestial dragon. Though reckless it may be, this trash deserved it. Number 1. Askgalad kills King Swain and declares himself the king. King Swain was continuously testing the limits of Askgalad's patience, but when he orders to start preparing for an attack on whales, even Askgalad loses his cool. And when the king asks him to choose between whales or Canute, Askgalad lets his balls do the talking. He glares the king right in the face and calls him trash. He then declares himself the rightful king of Britannia and starts swirling his sword around. Even though he was surrounded by soldiers, the king was at the mercy of his sword and was making a truly pathetic face. The soldiers tried to launch a frontal assault on Askgalad, but before they could step up, the king's head was already flying away from his body. Moral of the story? Think twice before calling someone a slave. That's all folks, what did you guys think of these moments? Do share your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to answer my question from before. Press that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and leave a comment saying I subscribed and I'll personally reply to your comment. Well then, I'll see you guys on my next video.